This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Before I am presenting on this particular property. Let's do a recap and review of the VA foreclosure program. Okay, let me give you the top 10 reasons, and I'll be very brief because this top 10 reason alone may take up to 30 minutes if I take my time on it, if I provide more details, but I'm only gonna go over this overview in a mere 1 minute. All right, so here we go. Top 10 reasons to buy VA foreclosures. 1, 5% down only, Vendee Financing. 2, with 5% down, positive cash flow. Okay. 3, these houses are typically reduced at 10 to 20% or even more at sometimes, depending on the location and the property, below market value. Tremendous benefits. Most of these houses are built between 1994 to 2018. All these VA foreclosure houses are located in A to B neighborhoods only. Number 6, highest quality tenants, active duty military, and other high income renters. Depending on location, some locations are not close to military base, so will be mainly civilian regular renters, but many are, so it all depends. So once you enter my system, you will know which properties are located close to military base and which are not. 7, lowest vacancy and maintenance factors. 8, most VA homes are located in the top 5 real estate markets in the country. Number 9, there are no limits as to how many VA loans, Vendee Financing mortgages you can obtain. Number 10, VA foreclosures have the highest rent to value ratio and capitalization rates, cash and cash returns, and total return on investment. In order to qualify to purchase VA foreclosure properties, the VA Department of Veteran Affairs requires that you as an investor must have at least 2 years of real estate investment experience. Number 2, furthermore, excuse me, you must be able to obtain financing, Vendee Financing, 5% down, pre-approval loan qualification process. And once you're able to do get approved, then you will consult with me, Seewing Yee, to determine if you are the right fit to embark on this unique investment program. And number 4, if you are, and then you as an investor will pay me $1,997 in advance for each property to be purchased, no refund. All right, so the remaining details, you feel free to look at the rest of my newsletter. So with that in mind, the property I'm promoting today are located in Anchorage, Alaska. That's right, Alaska. This property is located very close to Elmendorf Air Force Base and U.S. Army Fort Richardson. This property just came back in the market. It was in the market several months ago. For whatever reason, the buyer, they backed out for, I do not know the reasons, although I can speculate there are several reasons, but good for you, potentially. This listing just came on a few days ago. It's listed at $185,000, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,650 square foot. All right, and let me look at the map, and you will see the location of this property, which is of course always very critical. If I could narrow it down, this is a dot right here. That's the location of this particular property, and The reason why I picked this property is because, as you can see, Joint Base Elmendorf and Fort Richardson is located right here, only a few miles away from the front gate. So therefore, your military, your tenants will most likely will be active duty soldiers, enlisted soldiers mainly, probably 25 to 26 years old, E6, enlisted grade E6, with 6 to 7 years of service, who are probably married with a spouse, maybe 1 or 2 young children. They'd be more than happy to rent outside, and they the base, and they have the housing allowance to pay you. All right. So, all right. So, okay. Great location. And the description as provided by the VA listing agent, he says right here, perfect starter home or investment home close to Anchorage military base. All right. That's all you need to know to determine the high value of this property. This is a VA foreclosure, and all right. So built in 2003, right? Very new. Price, very good price square footage, and the let me see what else. It's back on the market January 24, a few days ago. As you can see right here, this is a Zillow. You can find this out yourself. Here are the monthly numbers, projections only. Rental projection rent is $1,800. Yes, those active duties, Air Force airmen who've been in the Air Force for like 5 or 6 years, they have an extra tax-free monthly housing allowance provided by the U.S. government, aka military, to pay you at least $1,800 to rent your property for the duration of their tour. For command sponsor, as you know, I'm active duty, U.S. Army retired, 20 years of service. All right, so this is my expertise, for God's sake. So yeah, they can pay you at least $1,800, and they can stay at your property at least 3 years if they are married with command sponsor tour, when they bring your family to this new duty station here at Elmendorf Air Force Base or U.S. Army Fort Richardson. Then they have more than the means to pay you the $1,800 or more, and plus they have their own regular military pay, which is not affected. Their military pay is not allocated toward housing allowance. Okay, don't worry about the school rating. I don't care about that. Sort of. All right, so let's look at the property. Very nice property, obviously. Here are the 17 pictures. So you have to determine. We don't know yet as to how much is the cosmetic repair cost gonna cost you as an investor out of pocket. Could be $3,000, could be $5,000, but bear in mind it's only cosmetic repairs. If anything greater than cosmetic repairs that they'll require more than 10, 15 grand or more out of your pocket to repair the property, then I would not recommend this property. All right, the inside looks very nice. Living room, very clean looking, wooded. There's no carpet, so that's good. Everything looks, based on the picture, nothing seems to be wrong. Since this house is, not that old, I do not expect any kind of a roof, foundation, or electrical issues. Anything could be minor, maybe painting, maybe a window dressing, something like that, right? So decent backyard, nothing bad. Okay, washer and dryer still there. Bathroom looks good, very clean looking. All right, so very spacious, excellent house. All right, so let me see what else I have to show you. Okay, and in terms of a rental market, what I did was, from the location of this property, 3-bedroom, and I put a 2-mile radius, and then I click on here, and it shows a whopping 117 properties are being rented within a 2-mile radius. That's all I need to know. Okay, that's more to feel confident that this property will rent well. you should have a consistent streams of active duty rentals for years to come. Very consistent stream for indefinite periods of time, because this base, Emmendorf Air Force Base in Fort Richardson, is a very strategically important base because Alaska is very close to Russia, as you know, right? So that's the reason. Okay, and you look at all the rents with the other similar properties, similar square footage, you will see that this property will take in a good $1,800 based on the square footage. And the square footage is how much again? 1,650 square footage. So if you look at something similar, you will find at least, see, some of the property are even higher than $1,800 rent. See, another property here, only 1,700 square foot, renting for $2,100. Another property even smaller, or renting for $2,200. So my estimation of $1,800 monthly rent are quite conservative. Okay, so this is a very potentially very good investment. All right, let me see what else. I've gone over the house and the rent. Now I'm going to go over the final part of my presentation. I'm going to go over the cash flow analysis, aka pro forma, aka first year performance report. So you know my process, right? For those of you who have. So here's the property in question. Very nice, very good neighborhood. Promote this property if I do not believe the numbers make sense. Okay, so I've done massive amount of research based on my background, military experience, track record, and everything else out there. I've done most of the work for you. All you have to do is pull the trigger. By the way, this kind of properties, as you know, of this kind of properties, VA foreclosure property listing date. So you have to pull the trigger very, very quick. All right, so here's the 5% down from 185K is 9250 only, plus closing costs of $4,000, plus estimate rehab costs around 4,000. So your total out of pocket is only like 18,250, which is amazing. What other real estate investment property you can purchase in anywhere in the country where all your only at-risk investment is a mere around 18 grand to buy a 185,000 income producing, potentially appreciation property, good cash flow, the best tenant, the best property, whatever, right? The monthly rent is 1,800. To me is very, very low. So, and then 5% vacancy, as I always put, property taxes, here are the monthly amounts, insurance, property management fee at 10%. Yes, we always have property management available on site in the local area to make it a turnkey remote control investing for you. Okay, buying sight unseen, everything else, it works. Maintenance, 5% down, 5% maintenance fee from the rent, 10% property management typically, could be less. And then your mortgage at 5% down, as you can see right here, monthly amount is $864. So therefore, your gross rent is $1,800 minus your mortgage and other debt obligations and in other debt service equals positive net monthly cash flow with $179. All right, and all the financial indicators, all these numbers are very, very is above the benchmark. 1% rent to value ratio, 7% capitalization rate, 12% cash on cash return, or everything, 45, 46, 48% total return on your investment on paper at least. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So this is it. If you are interested, please consult with me, obviously, and I will do a rigorous and stringent telephone interview for any prospective investors out there that want to enter this program. And if you're going to enter this program and you have to meet the conditions as I stated at the beginning of this presentation, then we're gonna journey, hopefully, to your future wealth building. With that said, thank you so much for listening. This is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Have a nice day. Goodbye.